Welcome to Paxa Rupiana. Here, Günther Fellinger speaking. I'm here in Tuzla in Bosnian. That's in Bosnia Herzegovina. That's about the east of Bosnia. It's the main town here of the federation, and it's the moment here. I want to show you Kapia. That's the place where on the 25th of May in '95 there was this horrendous attack of the Serb forces against the mainly Muslim population here, and 71 persons have died here in '95 by a grenade which was purposefully sent and targeted. Yeah, it's a morning and there's a lot of activity here, and it was purposefully targeted by the Serb authorities against the people of Tuzla in a revenge attack. And this is the monument of its of this horrendous deed. Yeah. I'm here in this beautiful city to commemorate this act of aggression, and I'm calling for an apology because now Dodik and Vucic, they were just in Prijedor, another city where they committed genocide, the Serbs, and that's in the so-called Republika Srpska, and they have, of course, made statements which are outrageous provocation of anybody who is decent. And I came to Tuzla to protest against their policy and against the appeasement of the Austrian and the European authorities. And of course, this has to be stopped. We shall not appease the aggressors of '92 and '95, and we shall not appease them what they have done in the ever since in the Kosovo War and the genocide denial which they are doing. I will, in the form of this video, show you a bit of the city here. Urgently, of course, NATO membership and EU membership is needed. The city in the evening is full of Europeans because many people of Tuzla live in Austria or in other countries of the European Union and in NATO, and they come back in the summer. But of course, the fact is that the situation would be much better in Bosnia if it were already in NATO and in the EU. And we didn't give Mr. Dodik the minority rights, which was the idea in the Dayton Agreement, in order to block foreign policy integration of Bosnia in NATO and in the EU. But he is doing that, and that must be changed. When you see the city, it's very nice. There are a lot of people out there in the evenings, and now it's early morning because I continue my trip to Sarajevo. And you see some of the houses still would need some investment. If you look around, you see there is a lot of traditional architecture from the Austrian-Hungarian times, from the times where Austria was actually military occupying. I was just reading that one. That was quite new information as well. It was the military conquest and the occupation of Bosnia, and there was a massive resistance of the people of Bosnia against Austrian colonialization. And I apologize for the crimes of that 1878 to 1879 war of conquest of the Austrian colonial regime. But I call for all others who have committed similar colonial conquest, like exactly the Serbs tried in 92 and '95, to apologize as well. This is what we need to do, a series of apologies and then to move on. But I want to show you a bit of the development here. Tuzla is an industrial center. It has a coal power plant. It is the center of the salt industry, and it is a very nice city. But you can see, of course, in the summer it's very full and there is much development here because of the diaspora coming back. But we are mistreating our own people. This is something I will also talk a lot in the coming days. It's about the transfer fees in the bancomat, very high. We are not in the roaming system. When you then buy a Telekom card, you have huge costs in bank transfers. You have a real problem to reach here with the infrastructure, and we really need to be a bit better than we are and integrate Bosnia into NATO and the European Union, which I think, tirelessly calling for since many years, but unfortunately we are a bit slow. So when you look around, it's a nice city with a good old town core, but it needs more investment, and we need definitely to give legal security for this investment. That means to introduce the euro, to join NATO, and to join the European Union. And it's absolutely possible, and we have done it many times, and we shall do it again. And I will show you some of the beauty. Now I'm going to this is the old town here. It's like a gigantic party town. Everybody sitting here, drinking, dancing in the evening. And in the morning, obviously, I go now to the main square. And here's the most iconic place of Tuzla, where the ancient Austrian-Hungarian main administration buildings are still visible. And you can see obviously as well the beauty of this square in a second. I will show you everything while I'm walking now on the main square here, and I show you this beautiful square here. And it is a center of industry, it's a center of the salt industry, and this is of course what made Tuzla. The city itself, the name of the city is the Turkish word for salt, I learned, and it is the salt city, Salt Lake City, if you want to call it like this. And here is the main city administration, the Seoul city, the Tuzla city, Salines, Soli, Tuzla. That was the seat, or I guess, of the company who had the monopoly on Seoul under the Austrian-Hungarian administration. And again, my apologies for the war crimes we committed, and my call for the Serb authorities to commit as well, for the apology for their committed war crimes and the genocide. Here I have an important book about the Serb genocide. It's in Serbian, Bosnian language, so we definitely need an Austrian version of it. And again, I call for Alma Sadic, who was born in the city, to also educate her fellow Austrian politicians to come here to Tuzla, and also to outlaw the genocide denial of Srebrenica in Austrian law as well, and also to push for NATO membership of Austria and Bosnia, because together, of course, that's the logic. It will be much more easier to be united if we overcome Austrian neutrality, Hungarian treason, and then Bosnian Serb reluctance. And we need, of course, to work together to achieve that together with Kosovo. The recognition of Kosovo, obviously an important priority here for Bosnia, and also the integration of all of us in NATO together with Ukraine in 2024. That's my platform, that's what I'm fighting for, and I will keep you posted in the coming days on more of my visit to Bosnia in 2023. Thanks a lot, and more to come from Pax Europiana here in Bosnia 2023. Bye from Tuzla.